Right, hiya, this is video 3 of the science video. So this one's actually really straightforward to do. It's a way of showing how polar bears and their extra adipose tissue help keep them insulated and reduce heat loss. What that means in normal English is they can stay warmer for longer. So what you do for this experiment is you're going to need a clock or someone standing there with a stopwatch. I've set the clock up, hopefully you can see that. Yep, ticking, so it's just like 5 seconds past now. And what you want to do is you want to run it on cold water, let it get nice and cold. I'm not going to do it while I'm speaking. You're going to have your hand underneath it. Now, I think it works better with your hand outer part of it facing up towards where the water's coming from. And you're going to time how long it takes for your hand to feel numb. Now, you can do this with ice and put it in an ice bath, but my ice isn't set yet, so rather than waiting for the ice to set, it works just as well with cold water. Then what we're going to do is do the exact same thing, see how long it takes to get numb with cold water, but we're going to put I think it's called a spongy scouring pad or something. You're going to put this on, okay, the rough part facing your hand and the soft part facing the water, and we're going to see if it takes longer or less time for your hands to feel numb, and then I'll explain why it is what it is. So, starting with the cold one. Don't need a massive flow of water, so I'm going to leave it on about half full, okay, 2 seconds. Right, so 3, we're going to start when it hits 3, so that's actually really quite cold. Right, I'm starting to feel a little bit numb, but I can still feel the sensation as the water's hitting my hand. I don't think I can last much longer, to be fair. Right, if I make it to that 9, that'll be 30 seconds, and I'm struggling, like. Right, that's me done, just shy of the 9, so I'm going to say 29 seconds, right. I would normally always have a pen and paper to write my results, but we're going to remember 29 seconds. Now, it's important to let your hand get back to some sort of normal warmth. It's like homeostasis. But rather than waiting for our body's systems to regulate all that, I'm just going to run some warm water just to get my hand back to sort of what it was before. Okay. Another thing that's important to do as well, so that your results are reliable and they're fair, is dry your hands. Anyone who's been out playing football, or if you've been on all it's like you're biking, if you find yourself out and about somewhere and it starts raining, when the winds or any sort of extra particles from water or air start hitting that coldness that you've already sort of got on your outside because of the rain, it'll make it feel even colder. So it's important to dry it so you're back to sort of the way you were before. Right, once you've dried your hands, okay, we do the exact same thing. I'm going to wait till it starts on that 3, and I'm going to see if it takes any longer or less time. And the only thing to bear in mind when you do it with this one, because these obviously aren't shaped to your hand, I don't want you just cutting up loads of these things, because then someone at home might not be happy. So just hold it in place, and then when you're done with it at the end, it can just go back in the sink or wherever you just keep your stuff, alright? So, cold water. I'm going to put it on when it hits 3, so now, sorry, I have to do that, yeah. So soft side should be up and the scouring pad bit should be down. Already you can also see what's happening to the flow of the water. Instead of it directly hitting my hand, it's making like a little bubble, like a little waterfall type thing around the foam, and I'm not feeling as numb. Okay, the part of the water still hitting though and flowing around my finger and my thumb, that's starting to feel numb, but the actual middle part is feeling warm. Right, well I've already passed 30 seconds and I'm not even numb yet. Right, I said that too soon. I'm starting to feel a little bit numb now. Right, I reckon I've got 5 seconds left in me. 3, 2, 1. Ouch, that is too cold. Squeeze that out. So, I lasted just over 45 seconds, nearly 50 seconds. Okay, so while I'm drying my hands, I lasted about 20 seconds longer with this, and the reason I did is the same way that the polar bears are adapted with their extra adipose tissue. That extra tissue, or in this case the extra foam, acts as an insulator so that when cold particles are hitting here, they are diffusing across the membrane, which is in this case the foam pad, and essentially keeping that part of my hand insulated, preventing it from losing heat as well as obviously getting cold itself. So that was a nice straightforward one that you can do in your house and doesn't really make any mess. So I'm going to stop the video once my fingertips are dry and have a go at that science video. Alright, thank you.